8:25 on BBC Radio Manchester. Good morning. A couple from Bury who are under threat of deportation have been released from a detention centre in Bedfordshire. The playwright, Lydia Bernard, who's originally from Cameroon, and her husband Bernard, were about to be deported last weekend, but they've been allowed to stay, pending judicial review of their cases. The pair say they should be allowed to remain in the UK because they face beatings and tortures if they return to Cameroon. Well, they're both with me now. Good morning.
Good morning.
The whole case has been going on now for a good... I can't remember when it started. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, 2006.
2006. So you've had 6 years, very nearly, of this going on. And you were a whisker away from being deported. What changed?
Yeah, because the solicitor applied for judicial review, and the hearing took place at about 5:30 in the evening on Friday, when the flight was supposed to be on Saturday.
Phew.
And we won the judicial review was granted, so that put a stay on the flight.
And that will be a review of all the processes that the authorities have gone through, leading to you being incarcerated.
Yeah.
Why do you think you should be allowed to stay in the UK? Because in normal circumstances, if we just went on, you came here for holiday, you wouldn't be allowed to. You don't have a right to reside presently. Why do you think you should have?
I think we should be allowed to stay because we faced persecution back home before coming here. As I kept telling my story, how I suffered back home, what happened, and I'm activist. And my home, where I come from, Cameroon, is not allowed to criticize the government. And also my writings also are some I don't know, but I write most of my writing are political. And where I come from is not allowed. And what is happening back home, not even those who are writing, or whether song singers who criticizes the government, they are always under threats of detention and even persecution.
And how did you come to be in the UK? How did you get here?
We came to UK through an agent, Just the fact that we're facing persecution back home.
So you just got on a plane and came, or did you come via a rather more circuitous route?
We came through an agent who, they came to look for me and they couldn't find me, so they got Bernard, and Bernard was detained. So I was in hiding. Then when he got out of detention, when he sneaked himself away from detention, he reunited with me, and the uncle arranged for an agent who took us, who said he can do it. He has been helping others.
And when you were leaving Cameroon, were you leaving Cameroon heading towards the UK, or were you just heading out of Cameroon and this is where you ended up?
The agent said he can bring us to UK. We did not have a choice. We're looking for a way to save our life. If he said we are taking you to Ethiopia or to America or to Canada, wherever, we just needed somewhere to be safe. And he said he has been doing it, so he took us to UK. We arrived at the night on the 17th of December 2006.
Well, on the line we also have Dr. Rhetta Moran from RAPAR, a Manchester-based human rights organisation. A very good morning to you.
Morning.
What's your view? I know it's going for judicial review, and we'll all hear about that, but what's your view on the way that Lydia and Bernard have been treated?
Well, Lydia and Bernard are putting up a magnificent struggle here to keep themselves safe, and as they've told you, they've been doing this now for 5 years, along with many people around them who've believed them and wanted to help them and support them. But on that level, they're very significant, they're very different in their own way. On another level, they're the same as very many other people who, because the system, basically, the discussion around asylum is generally conducted with an assumption that people are bogus. So when people come, they're starting from the position that they are not going to believe, that they are criminals, that they're wrong, they should be got out of the country. So everyone coming in is having to face that as soon as they come. And the whole discussion, the context of it's very important, I would say. For example, your earlier programme a few minutes ago talking about bogus marriages, that's the environment within which people are now listening to Lydia and Bernard. Now, that programme, that piece talked about the benefits that had been stolen by the man who'd been involved in bogus marriages. You're not talking about the 5 million pounds that the Tories are handing to the Royal Bank.
Well, indeed, we can make this as party political as you like, but it won't progress us any further forward. My question originally was, what do you think of the way these two individuals have been treated?
My answer to you is they're being treated the same as very many other people seeking asylum. And the context within which they're being treated is there's one law for the rich and another law for the poor. And the reality is that Bernard and Lydia were walking into the country with plenty of wads of money in their pockets. Nobody would be concerned about what passport they were carrying.
Indeed. So
this is the reality of the system.
But so what you're telling me is that they have been treated exactly the same way as everybody else. Not that that's a pleasant way, but they've not been singled out for special treatment. The question then is, what can happen next? There's going to be judicial review. It's within the realms of possibility that judicial review will say, well, the authorities have done exactly what they should have done.
I think that the power of Bernard and Lydia's actions is that they've refused to be ground down. They've refused to be undermined and fractured and made intensely depressed over these years of their struggle. They have simply been able, through campaigning and through resisting and through speaking out what's happened about them, as you see, you're sitting with them. They're lovely-looking people. They're strong-looking people. Their heads are up. They walk down the street with pride, as they should. So if the judicial review results in a negative outcome, there will be further interrogation of the procedures that have been used, because Lydia and Bernard, like many, many others, don't have a choice here. If Lydia and Bernard could be in Cameroon with their families, eating, drinking, having birthdays, living a life, no one would be happier than them. So let's not pretend that people who are here want to be here. They're here because they have to. And they're here because our country, theoretically, is signed up to a whole series of international treaties that says, on this day of the Holocaust, the memorial, in our humanity, we must protect the refugee.
Dr. Rhetta Moran, thank you very much indeed. And Bernard and Lydia, thank you both very much indeed for coming in. Thank you. It's 8:32 on BBC Radio Manchester.